Hello and welcome to the JFE Big Tails Fishing Tackle February Fish of the Month announcement. So in this video, we're going to cover our Fish of the Year winners. I'm going to have a tip that's going to be pretty important for March here. We're going to talk about one of our favorite Facebook groups from this past month. And as of right now, I'm going to encourage everybody to go follow Big Tails Fishing Tackle. If you're in Tell City, Indiana, stop in, see Jim. Tell him you heard us talking about him here on the Jeff Fishing Vlog. If you need any carpentry work, now the spring's getting here. A lot of people are getting their tax checks. I want you to give Civil Carpentry call, especially like if you're in the southern Indiana, Rockport, Evansville area. I'll have them tagged on this video also. So reach out to Sibs, great guy, does excellent work. Let's get going. So there's one group I'd really like to highlight right now, and that is the Fishing Content Creators Group. I shared the flyer for this contest on there. She was kind enough to approve the post. I've received quite a few entries, which is helping grow all this. So I just wanted to extend my appreciation to Deshauna for forming the group, for allowing me to make a post like that in there. She's really good about, if it's fishing content, if it's about creating content, she is all about, like, that is what that channel is supposed to be about. It is a public group, super easy to find. I am going to share a link to the group down in the comments. The group's on Facebook. There we go. I know I'm going to share this video on several different platforms, but if you're on Facebook, take a look at that group. Those are some really great entries, man. Can you believe those fish are being caught in January and February? I know so many people are not like cold weather fishermen, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that being said, I do have a tip for you, and this is one that I would say you definitely want to do in spring, but it's just something I actually try and do every single time I go fishing. And that is, whenever I have my rod and I have it baited up and I'm getting ready to cast it out, at least the first time I cast this rod out, I want to make sure my drag works. I've seen it several times to where you go to pull that drag, it's tight, it won't work, and then you don't even think about it, you cast it out, lo and behold, you hook into the biggest fish you've ever seen, and your rod's going to break, your line's going to break, your hook's going to straighten out because it's not able to pull that little bit of drag right there. So I understand that different people like to set their drag to different tensions. I'm not worried about all that. I would just like to see the people that are following my page, that are watching these videos, that are following along this far, to make sure whenever you go to make that first cast, don't make that very easily overlooked mistake of not checking your drag. So this month we're lucky enough to get to talk to a couple of the winners, and I want to introduce this young man. He has entered a fish every month this year, and I really hope he keeps it up, because if he does that, by the end of the year, he will be the only person in the 6-year history of this contest to actually enter in a fish every single month, man. And I'm really rooting for this month's Youth Fish of the Month winner, Mr. Terrence. Let's see what Terrence has to say.
All right. So, everyone, I would like to introduce you to the JFE Big Tails Fishing Tackle Youth February Fish of the Month winner. Let's give Terrence a big round of applause. I ain't got nobody here to applause, and I'm holding my phone. So, there we go. You can always count on mom, right?
Yeah, and my grandpa.
And your grandpa, is he there too?
Yes, sir.
I'd say they're pretty proud of you. I see you out there fishing all the time. That was
hmm
a really what did you catch for February? Was that a catfish?
February, it was a 22-pound blue cat out of a little street pond, like 10 minutes away from my house.
Oh man, out of a street pond?
Yep.
Did you catch and release, or did you catch and keep?
Yeah, I catch and release. I don't keep
Okay.
fish that big.
Yeah, I'm not judging. I'll keep fish sometimes, uh,
hmm
but usually if they're when they get that big, they're kind of breeding size and
Yeah.
kind of better for the fishery to just let them go or
hmm
whatever. What were you fishing with? Like what kind of bait were you using?
It was a PC fun with the jawbreaker rod, the GBZs, and then a cut bluegill.
Nice. A buddy of mine, one of the river billies, man, he uses them PC funds a bunch. And actually, I picked up a PC fun rod.
hmm
I think that's what that is. I don't might be a catch the fever. I don't know. I'm just getting into all this stuff. I'm used to using Zepco's, them old black and white rod and reels. I think last year was the first year I stepped it up, man. I'm really glad I did. It has worked out so much. Now, how often do you get to fish?
Almost every day. Like there's a little pond. Like I ride my four to it, go bass fishing, and then my mom drops me off at the lake sometimes or the ponds near the house.
Are you getting to catch them giant Texas bass?
My biggest is either 5 or 8 pounds.
That's a pretty big difference
Bass.
there, Terrence, between 5 and 8, I'd say.
Yeah, I can't remember. My mom's is big. Hers is. I think it was like 6 or 7 pounds. My mom's was like 6, maybe 7 pounds. I don't know.
Yeah, I've known of some 7+ pounders caught like here in southern Indiana, but it's not very often. It's usually if you hit a 5 or a 6, you had a really good day. That's where my best fish is. I do want to mention to you, and I'm really hoping you go through with this, and I'm going to encourage it hardcore. You are the only person eligible right now to win the Perfect Attendance Award.
Yes, sir.
If you pull this off, you send in an entry every month, then I'm going to send you a certificate at the end of the year. This is an award I would really like to name after my mother. One of her favorite things is whenever we got perfect attendance, we didn't have a telephone. People had telephones. We just didn't have a telephone. I'm old, but I'm not quite that old. Uh, but she would always I just see her smiling and writing home and stuff. And with doing all the fishing content, she wasn't really involved in fishing. So sometimes it's difficult to add her, to add her into
Yeah,
all this.
I heard it.
Both my parents had passed away before I started doing all this. So a lot of this is about like honoring them in some way or another. So being able to do the perfect attendance award, man, we are all really hoping we manage to get that, man. That would just be awesome. It is just 12 fish caught this year, man. Just keep sending them in. I'm, that gar you caught, heck, you're liable to go back to back. You know,
hmm
that that is really cool. And heck yeah. You got anything else you'd like to say? You got any sponsors or anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Uh, I'd like to give a shout out to Larry. What Larry's last name is Bailey, right? Yeah, Larry Bailey. And then GBC Fishing Rods.
GBC fishing rods, nice. Do they sponsor you guys or you specifically or?
They sponsor the tournaments that we do.
Oh, nice, good deal. I like it. Well, I'm not going to hold you up much longer. I know it looks beautiful out there. You're ready to go catch some of your own fish. Good luck. I appreciate you guys entering. Keep them Texas Fish Bandits on their toes. And heck yeah, have a good day, bud.
You too.
All right.
So we actually ended up with a tie for Youth Fish of the Month. It was pretty cool. We only had 2 youths enter out there hardcore fishing in February. I love it. This next gentleman, he's a 2-time Fish of the Month winner. Yeah, Mr. Colton. Everybody give Colton a big round of applause. gonna get this certificate over to Colton. I haven't actually printed out the certificates. I'm gonna do that this evening. I'm gonna send out last month's tomorrow. I'm so terrible, man. I enjoy all this though. I'm running into a little bit of printer issues. We're just out here doing the best we can. Now, when I go to counting and I see that there's an actual tie, it's pretty exciting, especially when there was only 2 youth entries that month. The adults that entered, oh my goodness. You know, I do want to point out that we had people entering fish while fishing, ice fishing. Mr. Terrence, in his photo, he is not wearing any shoes whatsoever. So, like sitting right here in Indiana, getting pictures from New York and Maine and Texas and just all over the country, and just getting to see what people are doing at the different times of the year. I just find that really cool. My adult fish of the month winner really earned it. We had some great entries, man. And I'm not just saying it. If you scrolled through and you looked at all of them, I get like you're going to vote for your buddy, you're going to vote for your friend. You may understand a little something more about one type of fish than another type. But he really earned it. It was a great fish and with some amazing entries. And I'm telling you, I talked to this guy for 2 hours. I am not going to make you guys suffer through 2 hours of my conversation. So I kind of edited it down best I could. So I want to introduce everybody to our JFE Big Tails Fishing Tackle February Fish of the Month winner. Check out this conversation. I want to go ahead and introduce everybody to Adam, our February Adult Fish of the Month winner. Yeah, I don't have an audience. It's just me today. We do an audience sometimes. It's a pretty good time whenever I can get a group of people together. Adam, you want to tell us a little bit about that fish?
All right. So that was about a 23.5-inch sheep's head that I caught this winter using live fiddler crabs and just a 4,000 Shimano twin power reel with about a 7'6".
How deep were they? Like, how deep of water were you fishing in?
That fish was about 35 feet.
Okay. So you were definitely out in the Gulf. That is like a saltwater fish, I'm assuming.
It is a saltwater fish, but I was actually under a bridge, so not quite in the Gulf yet, but
okay,
very very close to the Gulf.
Is that what they consider that brackish water?
It's pure salt. It is
salt
water.
So you were definitely in the salt.
But it was a tributary to the pass to the Gulf.
I have fished saltwater 0 times. I may fix that one of these days, but I am definitely proud Hoosier, fishing the Ohio River, fish the lake, fish Lake Michigan. I'm a proud freshwater fisherman, and it's mostly just because like I live in Indiana, so to get to saltwater is what 6, 8, 10-hour drive probably. I might as well be happy with the water that I'm fishing. It does me no good to just always be thinking about that. We have some pretty decent fish right here. So how often do you go fishing?
I try to fish about 4 or 5 times a week. I can help it. Like I told you, I'm a retired custom home builder, home improvement guy. Now I kind of homeschool my daughter, and she has a gymnastics schedule that we work around, which is actually where I'm sitting at this moment. Sitting here while she's doing her thing, and a lot of times what I'll do for that 4.5-hour block is I'll bring my kayak and I'll just go out to a bridge or a local waterway and try to catch something.
So are you exclusively fishing out of the kayak?
No, that's one thing that's happening right now is everyone has seen my content and thinks I'm a kayak fisherman. I am not. I have owned that kayak for literally 13 months, and it is really a winter thing for me. I have a 24-foot center console that I go offshore and inshore with, so that will be back on the water shortly. We don't like to run in the boat when it's cold,
Sure.
and obviously our cold's a little different than your cold, but uh, the kayak is a much easier trek.
So with you being a retired, you say home builder,
Yes.
uh, I'm going to assume your number one piece of advice, and I shouldn't be putting words in your mouth here, but I'm going to assume your number one piece of advice for somebody who's wanting to really up their game in fishing is manage your money correctly.
Correct.
Yeah, that would.
Make fishing possible. Um, that's a big part of it.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you don't have near enough gray in your beard to be retired at this point.
I get that a lot. And don't get me wrong, I'm not solely retired based on me being some wealthy builder. I have a great wife that has a great job. She makes that happen. And the decision to move to Alabama about 5 years ago, kind of just settle down, relax, and homeschool our daughter and things. So that's all of those factors went into it.
Getting to spend time raising your children is more important than anything else. It just really is. It is so unfortunate that we have so many people today that both spend so much time at work and the kids end up spending too much of their time raising themselves and not, seeing that good family dynamic to where everybody's working together and they actually have like a reasonable goal. Like, obviously, I mean, you're doing stuff and you should. Why not? You're out there fishing, you got your phone. It's so easy to just do, as far as I'm concerned, it's easy to do like fishing content. I get that it's not for everybody, but I assume your goal is not necessarily like to get famous. You're just doing it because you enjoy it. And I really enjoy knowing people who their goal is just to be a good husband, be a good father, just have a
Correct.
positive impact on everybody around them. That is pretty awesome, man. I appreciate you being who you are. I hope you continue to send entries in this year. That is a really good one. Adam, thank you for entering. That was a really incredible fish. Spread the word.
Well, dude, thank you for doing this. This has been fun.
How cool was Adam? That guy's out there on the kayak. He's on his boat. He's taking care of his family. Taking care of his daughter. Really a great guy, as far as I can tell. I'm sure we're going to be seeing more of his photos throughout the year. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this episode, and I want to share one of my favorite fishing stories with you. So, in honor of this being the February Fish of the Month, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode, and I'm going to tell you one of my favorite stories. Deborah and I, we started dating in January. I'd known her for about 6 or 8 months before then, but took a little work and a little effort on my part to get her to actually go out to a date and kind of consider me in that light, right? So I knew she grew up in a family that fished. She talked about it from time to time, and she knew that like I love fishing. It was spring. We suffered through January, February. The weather started getting a little nicer. Packed everything up, took her to one of these little ponds that I enjoyed going to that I knew I can go catch some crappies. So we had our bucket of minnows. I assumed she knew what she was doing, but this was a date. This is, I'm just being a gentleman, and I'm putting her bobber on, her little split shot, tied her hook on, and kind of told her where to cast it. And we're starting to catch crappies now. I'm going to catch one, and I'm putting it on the stringer. She catches one. I go over, take it off, and I put it on the stringer. We have a few, and then the bite starts to slow down. So I'm gonna look, because I know there's several spots. Like I can catch 3 or 4 here. I can walk over there and catch 3 or 4. I can walk over here and catch 3 or 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and look for a little different spot. So I go to move, and I seen Deborah takes and cast her bobber over this big laydown. This tree is laying out into the water, which is why the crappie are there. But she casts completely over on the other side. And I look and I said, "Hey, hon, would you like for me to get that for you?" And she says, "Nah, I think I got it." And the whole time she's just reeling down real slow, real slow. And I'm like, all right. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to start pulling a bobber out of the tackle box and a hook and stuff. Surely she's going to break off. And she just takes her wrist and flips like that. And I see that bobber come out of the water, the split shot sinker, the hook with the minnow. All of it comes out of the water and then just lands right on the opposite side of that laydown. And I want to say when it hit, it just kept going, because like when it hit, the fish took it and took it under. And I have to admit, I was pretty impressed. That's really cool whenever you get you a gal that doesn't need a hand at every little thing whenever you go fishing. So that's I picked pretty good Valentine's that year. She knows how to catch fish. And actually, when we go fishing now, and if the bite's on, she lets me fish. She takes her own fish off. She has her own stringer and all that stuff. She's got her own pliers. She's ready to go. But if the bite's a little slow, I still try and take care of her. She's a special gal. So I want to thank everybody for entering. It's a little late for this now, but happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and especially Miss Debbie. And remember, the main thing is, when's the best time to fish? Anytime. Thanks for watching.